Welcome into another basketball game here at the War Lodge Classic. I am your play-by-play, Will Cooper, and I'm joined alongside my good friend Chase Shafer. And Chase, as far as hype goes for basketball, this is about as big as you get, as we have IMG Academy, the sports powerhouse in pretty much every sport you can name, and then New Faith Christian Academy, who have quite a few players of their own who are going to stack up. We're going to see two really top-level programs today.
Yeah, it's interesting that you say stack up because NFCA is no slouches either. A fantastic team, a lot of size of their own, but it'll be really interesting. I think we're in for a fast-paced game, back and forth, up and down the court, a lot of action and a lot of highlights.
You're right about that. Of course, the elephant or the giraffe in the room is the fact that Olivier Rioux, who is a sophomore, he's 15 years old.
15.
He is 7'5". He is for IMG Academy. But as you mentioned, New Faith Christian Academy has a couple of guys of their own. Corey Marshall, Shair Mazuni, and Sincere Simon, all 6'8" and 6'9", respectively. So the buzzer has sounded, and we will send it to the floor for introductions, and we will go along with them and give you some introductions of the players themselves. Of course, IMG comes in 7-2 in play. This is IMG Academy Blue, so keep in mind IMG Academy has lots of teams that they go with. They also have some post-grad programs and some middle school programs, so IMG Academy is a large umbrella. You normally don't just play IMG Academy. You play some form or fashion of them that they have split up. The top list of the name includes Anquan Bolden Jr. So, yes, Anquan Bolden, the NFL wide receiver, who we pretty much agree is going to go into the Hall of Fame. Played for the Cardinals for a long time, was a really great receiver. His son is here. He will play the wing at 6'5", and he is a senior as well. And as we mentioned, we just go down the list, and they have 4-star, 3-star, 5-star athletes. And to be fair, New Faith Christian Academy has a lot of good players as well. But when you have a name like IMG in the house, you do have to give them their props.
Yeah, a lot of fun storylines to go along with here that we'll get into during the game. This coaching staff for IMG Academy is loaded with coaches who have played overseas, who have played professionally. And another thing that I'm really enjoying is you look over at the NFCA team, and I think we got a player who's got the Horace Grant goggles on.
Yes, it does look like that, as a matter of fact. It's listed as he's number 13. I do not have a number 13 on the roster that was provided to me. So we will have to listen to the introductions and try and figure out who that is for you as they introduce Sharkeem Joseph, who is their senior guard. He's 6'3". Orion Champion is a sophomore point guard for them at 6'1", 160. Number 5, Shair Mazuni, who is 6'8", 182 pounds, getting a little bit of size now to compete with IMG. And number 24, Sincere Simon at 6'9", 185. And then number 1, DeChun Rutherford at 5'11", 162. This kid's averaging 30.8 points per game. So if you're looking for a scorer, he's it. So that's really where the offense revolves around New Faith Christian Academy.
Yeah, we got a chance to talk to Coach Siller last night, and we talked about how interesting it is and the dynamic between people who go to a normal high school, so to say, and the experience that they have at IMG Academy. Classes in the morning and then practice and drills all afternoon. It's kind of like a boarding school, specifically designed for athletics. They have beautiful facilities, a beautiful campus, and probably one of the most beautiful parts of the country in Bradenton, Florida. So let's see if they've got one of the more beautiful basketball programs, as they are a top 100 program in the state of Florida. Their national team is, I think, the top-ranked basketball team in the country.
Yeah. And they, as we mentioned, they have a lot of different teams, so they field a lot of different guys. And interesting to note, in their starting rotation at point guard is Brian B.J. Brown at 5'8". So size is not everything for IMG. So you'll see someone who is 7'5" and 5'8" on the floor at some point tonight. So that'll be a lot of fun to watch. Of course, Anquan Bolden Jr. is number 0, but for the tip-off is number 15, Carson Cooper at the point, 6'11", and he wins that tip easily. Number 30, by the way, Ishan Naitio, plays for the NBA junior team for the Asian Pacific team. So he also has a lot of talent. And Anquan Bolden Jr. is going to swing it back out. Attempt by Gerald O'Keefe, and it is in. So a quick 3 there from IMG.
And ironically enough, talking about all this size in the first play of the game is a three-point shot.
We figure there'll be some dunks and some threes, so it should be an exciting brand of basketball here. So once again, number 1 bullied there on the ground, and look out in transition. IMG's got it all day and fumbled the ball. Anquan Bolden Jr. takes it out. And then, almost with the hammer. Instead, going to be a stoppage in play there. Number 15 went for the slam, Carson Cooper, but good defense there from New Faith.
Yeah, and he's going to go to the line to shoot too. First foul of the evening called.
So this tends to be a more physical game than the ones that we're used to seeing. And the first one is up and in. Of course, keep in mind, most of these kids, if not all of them, have aspirations to go to the league or overseas, as you were mentioning, some of the coaching staff having some overseas playing time. And the second one is up and in. So a 5-0 lead here for IMG. New Faith, as we mentioned. Really everything runs around to Chun Rutherford, number 1. 30.8 points per game for that young man.
For high school basketball, that is a very high points per game average.
Very good, and a team that scores 71 points per game, that's huge. A long three and just off the side of the rim there for Rutherford. And if you're wondering how tall everyone is on the floor, Rutherford is 5'11", so when you see him walking next to someone and looks like a kid, just keep that in mind. So
you know, not to rub salt in the wound on the miss, but Bridget Upberg made one from the logo in the girls' game earlier.
That was a terrific game to watch. Sequoyah girls with a big win there as IMG turns it over. Quick break, and oh, jammed by Anquan Bolden with the block. Going back the other way, IMG. And B.J. Brown fights off, and it's going to draw a foul.
He never saw Bolden Jr. coming. Fast break a la LeBron James, slapped it off the glass and off the backboard, and we are 2.5 minutes in, still waiting for that big posterizing dunk.
It'll happen. It'll happen. As, by the way, tons of fans have filled in here. These are two premier programs, and the Sequoyah fans and players have filled in to the right of us as well. As that is off the rim and no good. Once again, B.J. Brown to the line. And IMG, talent everywhere, as we were mentioning. 7-2 on the year for this team specifically. The last time they played was last Saturday, an 85-50 win over H.A. Prep in Durham, North Carolina. Now making the trip up here to Hickory Flat, Georgia, as the second free throw is in. Quick 6-0 lead here for IMG. A lot of handles going on out there. Give it back to Sharkeem Joseph. Quick handoff there to Orion Champion. 13.8 points per game for that young man. Trying to make something happen. Three, and it's up and in. A pretty shot there. And IMG will set up, and it looks like we'll get to see Ishan Naitio a little bit. The 5'11" point guard, as we mentioned, also plays for the NBA junior team.
Yeah, a lot of talent on this IMG team. Ali, the 7'5" center, also plays on the Canadian national team for the U16.
There you go. Gerard O'Keefe with quick points in transition, and that'll be enough to draw the first timeout of the game with 5:58 left to go. And you kind of see New Faith Christian Academy trying to feel out the competition a little bit and trying to catch up with the speed of the game, and IMG does not seem to have that problem out of the gate.
Yeah, both teams really kind of feeling each other out in the early stages of this ball game. We're just at 3 minutes in, or even 2 minutes in, and both teams still feeling each other out pretty well. Not a lot of fast breaks, not a lot of back and forth, just a lot of each team setting up their offense, getting into a rhythm, seeing what the other team's going to give them. But as this game progresses, I'm sure we're going to see a lot of fast breaks and a lot of high-flying action.
Yeah, no doubt about that. These guys are wired up and ready to play. They've obviously been here in Hickory Flat for the majority of the day. New Faith Christian Academy is out of Stockbridge, so they probably made the trip up today. But IMG Academy has been here as they are out of Bradenton, Florida. So not a quick trip for them. They definitely got on a plane to come up here, and it's good to see them travel up and give the War Lodge Classic a little bit of love.
And they gave the War Lodge itself a little bit of love. Got a chance to talk with Coach Schiller before the game, and he was talking about the old retro feel of this War Lodge gymnasium and its intimacy, I guess you could call it.
It's definitely a tight venue, but that can be a good thing. As there's a mix-up down below the basket, but a good point there from Sincere Simon. Once again, the power forward coming up there with some big play. As the official took a stumble there, and he hurt himself. But in transition there for IMG, and that's off the rim and no good. That's Anquan Bolden Jr., and he puts it up, and it's no good. Good defense there from New Faith. And now once again in transition is Orion. Back out to the point to Corey Hardy.
Yeah, Will, we mentioned it. The War Lodge, one of the older facilities here in Cherokee County as well, that gives you a unique viewing experience, if you will.
Yes, it does. Has the old retro Sequoyah Chief logo. And that's a turnover for New Faith. Quick break. Anquan Bolden with the jam. There you go. And the fast break breaks off. A slam. And they're going to check with the official to make sure he's okay. because he did fall back there. And it looks like he's okay. And now we got some substitutions coming in. We'll see Dre Fox check into the game. We'll also see, trying to get the names for you here. Carson Cooper's been in, and we'll also see Gabe Keene, a 6'6" senior, who's going to play out at the wing, and Jamie Qualey as well. So a couple of fresh faces for IMG. Still no sighting for number 55, Olivier Rioux, who is the 7'5" center. Really, he can play whatever he wants because there's not anybody that can guard him. But
well, I think we'd be doing the viewer a disservice if we said there wasn't a sighting yet, because there's most certainly a sighting.
Oh yeah,
he just hasn't been on the floor yet.
It's hard to miss. So it's really hard to describe even. But Sharkeem Joseph gets it out at the top to Corey Hardy. And Hardy's going to try and drive, and that's not going to work. IMG with a quick break once again. Good defense set up by New Faith, and hit out of the back. So they will have to set up there, as that was Sincere Simon who came in and batted the ball away.
Yeah, big block there by NFCA. A real chance for the Titans to turn the momentum and keep that ball out of the hoop.
So B.J. Brown will field this one. Get it out there to Keene, and that's blocked. And New Faith with a quick break here. Look out. They're going to set up a little bit of offense now. And this 2-on-2 Orion Champion and B.J. Brown is a fun one to watch. They've been meeting out at the top of the key to begin with. And a drive there, and almost a beautiful basket, but falls harmlessly off the side of the rim. And B.J. Brown puts a man on skates and gets past him, as that's an extra 2 there.
Yeah, the Titans going to have to convert on that. 2 big blocks, and they get a chance down the court. They're going to have to convert that into points if they're going to keep up with IMG here.
Here the fans going up, as there may be a sighting of someone in particular.
Big 55 making his way to the scorer's table.
And IMG trying to set up a little bit of offense now. Swings it wide open 3, and they're not going to miss that. Dre Fox hammers it home. And what you've all been waiting to see is here. Number 55, the 15-year-old 7'5" protege. Looks like he will check into the game after the timeout. We will check, but.
Well, you know, now that we're at a timeout at the moment, you know, it bears mentioning a lot of kids who are that age, when they're that tall, they look very, very small.
Yes.
Not small, tall-wise, but they're very skinny. That's not the case with Ollie here. Ollie is all of 280 pounds and very well put together for a 15-year-old, and he's going to use that 7'5", 280-pound frame to push people around down low and probably just drop the ball in the basket whenever he wants.
Well, that and the other thing too is that you see a lot is that these very tall kids tend to not be athletic or tend to be a little bit disconjointed when they run or when they shoot. No, when we're watching him down there handle the ball and get ready for this game, I mean, he is a fluent player. There is a reason that he is high on a lot of drafting prospects for the NBA. I mean, he's destined for some basketball career if he wants to do that. So we'll send you back down to the floor here so you can take a look at the monster. And we say that with all admiration.
Respect, yeah,
trust me. Not in a negative connotation at all. And so we're here to inbound it is Lance Hall Jr. First time we've called his name for New Faith. And it's kind of interesting. They do like a soccer lineup here when they get ready to break it, as you can see down to the left.
Finishing out a little administrative duties here before we get back underway.
And here we go. Chun Rutherford. And he's going to be working one-on-one against number 1 Dre Fox. So they like to match up the numbers. It's a little bit of a pick there. And you got to feel like they're just going to try and shoot outside. It's going to be hard to get inside the basket. And they do keep it outside of the key.
On an unrelated note, if you are a shoe aficionado, you're going to want to tune into this one.
Yes, lots of interesting sneakers out there on the floor. And quick shot there, and it doesn't go. So there he is, much to the applause of everyone here. And, well, here we go. I don't even know what to say about that.
Making it look easy because it is. Ollie gets his first points of the night.
So there you go. That's pretty much the game. And floater there. And we have a foul on the floor. Nope, looks like it'll actually be a shooting foul. My apologies. So Dre Fox, DeChun Rutherford will go to the line. And when you see him standing there, DeChun Rutherford is 5'11", and number 13, Jamie Qualley, is 6'5", standing next to 7'5" Olivier. So,
yeah, you know, one of the things that you had mentioned earlier about all these kids having an opportunity to go play basketball at the next level, one of the reasons for that, not only the facilities and the focus that IMG places on athletics, but the coaching staff that they have put in place. You know, one of the assistant coaches, Daniel Santiago, was on the famous Puerto Rican team that beat the USA team a few years back. He was an 18-year pro in professional basketball.
Qualley with a quick three. That's no good. And amazingly, Olivier does not get the rebound, so it's transitioned the other way, and it's laid up and in by DeChun Rutherford.
Pace of the game starting to pick up a little bit here, a lot of fast breaks.
And once again, Rutherford, 30.8 points per game. He's a big part of this offense. And it's out in the key this time. Now they're going to post up, swing it back out to the top, wide open, and that one is in. Jamie Qualley with a free three. And now, as you mentioned, speed of the game speeding back up here. And it's back out to the top of the key to DeChun Rutherford.
Yeah,
Shair Mazuni is checked into the game, number 5. So adding a little bit of height at 6'8".
Yeah, with bench players starting to come into the game, it's definitely beyond time for teams to feel each other out, and it's go time here at the War Lodge Classic.
Quick break here, but defended well by New Faith. And now there is another quick break. Rutherford, swift move, and up and in. What an amazing switch back there for the layup. My goodness, easy to see why he averages 30.8 points per game coming into this one.
Yeah, beautiful switch back there.
Quick three there, and it's off and no good. And for the rebound, and another quick two. The fans are loving him here in Hickory Flat.
Well, Ollie basically just pulled that off the rim before it even had a chance to come back down and put it back up for an easy offensive board and score.
So there you go. And I mean, just an imposing figure out there. And the IMG coaches, as you mentioned. And a quick three there, no good. And it'll transition back the other way. IMG starting to take their time a little bit, setting up some offense. Looking for the threes. Great pass there. Wide open three in the corner, and that one is good. Hammered home by Jamie Qualley.
Yeah, the Titans going to have to do a better job of D'ing up here. They had 2 shooters open for IMG Academy on the perimeter on the same side of the court. Going to have to clean that up.
And a slick move there, but doesn't go in. Put back up and in. Nice job there by Sincere Simon, the tallest player at 6'9", using his size advantage and getting in there and getting the rebound. IMG set back up. Another three here, and that one is just short. That was Dre Fox on the shot. Back up to the top of the key again. And that one is too long, as that was Gerard O'Keefe. And New Faith, oh, what a save there by DeChun Rutherford as we got 30 seconds left to go with the first period. Oh, boy, quick pass couldn't be handled there. And now we've got a quick break, 3-on-2. And it ends up being, just off the top of the rim. And IMG works back the other way. So New Faith setting up. They got 10 seconds left. Probably going to try and run this clock out as much as possible, down by 12. Once again, Will Cooper alongside Chase Shafer. Thank you for joining us on Chiefs TV. Rutherford puts it up off the side of the rim, and that will conclude the first period. So Chase, a lot of excitement there, kind of what we were hoping for.
Yeah, I'm sure it's going to pick up too when we get down the stretch of this game. Both teams, like we mentioned, the pace of the game is picking up, but both teams still kind of playing very conservatively. And I think one of the reasons is because you have a 7'5" tower that when he puts his hands up is 10 feet tall, and it's just difficult to get in the lane and get a confident shot off with that imposing figure on the inside. The Titans, though, tall and athletic themselves. We've seen a couple chase downs, 2 big blocks on one possession, and it's really fun to watch these two teams go back and forth with each other. And let's see if NFCA kind of gets some confidence back here, knowing that they can go toe-to-toe with these guys. They are down 12, but I think as the pace of the game picks up, we'll see them start shooting the ball a little bit more from the outside, because clearly they can do that. Yeah. They have the ability to shoot the 3 ball, and that's probably going to be their best bet in getting back into this one.
Yeah, and the one thing we do need to keep an eye on is the fact that New Faith hasn't really rotated any guys in. They've stuck with their starting 5, and they've kind of stuck with those guys through the remainder of the first period. IMG, on the other hand, has rotated freely, so we'll have to keep an eye on if that will continue and if New Faith kind of wears down as this game goes on. But nonetheless, it's been a great first period, and we're ready to bring you the second quarter of action here. As we mentioned, IMG is up by 12. And it will be New Faith who will inbound the ball.
Quick note about O'Keefe, the Nashville, Tennessee native, currently on pace to be the valedictorian of his class.
Wow.
and he got a 15-20 on his PSAT.
Holy cow. And now we have a stoppage in play. I'm not totally sure what it is. We'll let them sort it out and tell us.
Clean up some administrative duties here.
Don't believe he officially checked into the game is what I suppose it was. Not exactly sure. Maybe they had 6 guys on the court. Either way, we are now ready to start. Once again, this is Rutherford. He's going to pull up for a long 3. And off the top of the rim, almost made it. And here we go, a little bit of speed from IMG. Straight to the basket in heavy traffic, and it's no good. But what a great putback by Carson Cooper.
Yeah, great job there by Cooper. He's got a couple offers himself. You know, Eastern Michigan, Vermont, they're looking at him, and it looks like for good reason. He's got about 6 or 7 offers, and it's not hard to see why with awareness like that.
And quick pass there from New Faith is off the target. As Rutherford is also the assist leader on the team as a true point guard. He also can shoot exceptionally well, so truly a dual threat. As Natillo checks back into the game, gives it out to B.J. Brown. And swings it over to Anquan Bolden Jr. Very good offense set up on the top of the key, and they wait for their opportunity to drive just like that. In and off the front of the rim. Good defense by New Faith. Almost had the quick break, but could not outrun Anquan Bolden Jr. He'll pass it back out to the top. And New Faith doing a good job as well, keeping an eye on the zone and knowing what they're trying to do. And absolute beautiful drive inside by Anquan Bolden Jr.
Yeah, big-time athletic play there.
He obviously has the pedigree to do it, the name to go with it as well. So I assume that if he wanted to play basketball, he would definitely have the opportunity. Orion Champion here, going one-on-one with Machio. Dish back outside to Rutherford. Rutherford, pretty good mix. And up, and he's going to get the foul. So a blocking foul there, and he will go to the stripe for a free 2.
You know, Will, looking at this IMG team starting to create a little space against a very talented New Faith Christian Academy, one of the things that, you know, I got a chance to talk with Coach Schiller about was this is not the national team.
Right.
This is their blue team, but according to Coach Schiller, this is the most competitive team in their program that's not the national team. You know, the national team, obviously, one of the top 3 schools in the country,
yeah.
But this IMG blue team is one of the top 100 high school teams in the country still.
Yeah, and it's easy to see why, right? As that is no good, so 14-29 our score. As you were mentioning, talent everywhere and a lot of junior players that are doing things outside of the IMG Academy sphere that are working very well. As that fake pass put a couple of guys on skates. Anquan Bolden with the drive, that's no good. But he will draw the foul there from Shair Mizuni.
Yeah, not just talent, Will, but talking again to Coach Schiller last night, these guys actually care about each other. You know, there's a very good team chemistry here. Guys who use their competitive nature to make sure that everybody's getting better, including themselves, and guys that just genuinely love each other.
Yeah, everybody knows IMG Academy from their ability to produce college football talent. It's easy to see when you go look at the 24/7 or Rivals recruiting that those guys are always in there. But basketball, baseball, seriously, anything, they are producing top-level talent at it as that first free throw is hammered in. And I think the most impressive thing about IMG is that they're able to maintain that, and the coaches that they bring in, you were talking about, you know, your conversations with Coach Schiller and these other coaches that they've been able to bring in, they do such a good job of retaining them and preparing these guys for the next level. As that one is off the back of the rim, and New Faith will take over from there.
Yeah, another assistant coach, Jimmy Barron, played at Rhode Island and spent 13 years playing professional ball overseas.
That'll work. Good defense here from IMG. And, oh, a loose ball there, and it's a quick break for B.J. Brown, and he puts it up and in. Too easy.
I want to go ahead and take a look at that play real quick. What a fantastic job by Quayle as he realized that he had a guy streaking up the court, was able to get the ball, roll over on his back, and still get a nice pass on target to get some points for IMG.
So New Faith drives inside, and almost a beautiful shot once again. New Faith tips it in. Great job there by Shair Muzunu for able to bring it back in. As that's a mid-range jumper, and it is up and in. As that's Carson Cooper once again. Second time we've called his name in the second quarter. New Faith not really interested in setting up an offense, trying to score quickly, which may be what you have to do with a possibly more talented IMG team as B.J. Brown brings it the other way. Back down to Cooper on the inside. That's no good and draws the foul.
Yeah, Cooper, the Jackson, Michigan native, also holds an offer from Eastern Michigan. So right there at home, got to think that might be one of the ones in the running. So maybe we'll see Mr. Cooper in some action later on down the road.
Well, Carson Cooper is not 7'5", but he's 6'11", so I think that dog will hunt. As Anquan Bolden Jr. checks out of the game, and for him is Gabe Keene.
Yeah, it's crazy to think that somebody who stands at 6'11" is the second tallest guy on the basketball court in a high school basketball game. But here we are in the year 2021.
And second free throw is still no good. So New Faith will try and set something up. As I mentioned, you know, they haven't really tried to set up a typical offense. They're more than content to bring the fast break. So let's see if that continues, as they're going to slow things down now that I say that. As Marshall gets it, and then it's back out to Rutherford once again. Tries to get in there with the big boys, and that dog's just not going to hunt. As B.J. Brown brings it out the near side, drives to the basket, taps it out, but a good defensive play there from Orion Champion to not allow the good look there. And it'll be IMG who has to inbound it.
Yeah, good job by Champion, knowing that that's where exactly where they were going to go. He saw an open man over there and closed that passing lane in a hurry.
Mid-range jumper is up and in. So IMG taking advantage of the looks that they're given. That's one thing that you really have to admire, is they're not trying to dunk every time. They're not trying to take the 3 points every time. They take what they're given.
No, this is good, clean, blue-collar basketball here by IMG Academy.
Things get a little physical down there underneath as Rutherford met with B.J. Brown. And at the end of it, they went their separate ways, so no harm, no foul. As that's a turnover there. And B.J. Brown will take it over. Once again, B.J., the point guard for this team, and as much as he distributes the ball, does a fantastic job scoring as well, as we've seen him on a couple of fast breaks. So, quick pass out to the key. And there is once again Rioux, and it's back out to the top.
Ooh, and 3 in the key for the big man.
Yeah, so that's a tough one. Good defense there from New Faith.
But there's no better place for a 7'5" player to hang out than right there under the basket.
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly what you want, right? I mean, I'm sure he could probably shoot some threes, but really kind of defeats the purpose. So you see him playing perimeter defense in there. Long three, and just off the side there. As that was Rutherford on the attempt. Quick break for B.J. Brown. He's going to swing it way back out. Both of them trip. Both of them scrumming for the ball. IMG gets back on top of it. And now we have a stoppage in play, and that will be New Faith.
Yeah, Coach Schiller comes streaking from the bench, screaming timeout, timeout, as he had a player trapped on the near side of the court baseline. So, Will, I think this game has been pretty much as advertised. You know, IMG is really committed to playing that blue-collar basketball. We see a lot of mid-range jumpers, which, you know, in this day and age is kind of a lost art.
It really is. I think since, you know, especially this generation, the Steph Curry fans, you know, have seen how cool the three is, and then also it's always fun to see somebody dunk it. But I think this middle of the range, you know, when you take those shots, they're going to have to defend that at some point, and that will open up the other two opportunities. And New Faith is just living and dying by that sword, for lack of a better term, and IMG is happy to take that. So that's why we have a 20-point favor for IMG.
Not the last time we'll see IMG here this weekend. Tomorrow night on Chiefs TV, they will be taking on Middle Georgia Prep.
That'll be a great one. Make sure you tune in tomorrow night as well. As sorts of tip drill there, and that one is up and in. Amazing play there for Jamie Qualley. He has had a great night tonight. I believe that's his third three of the night. So, and he is a fantastic shooter out on the edge of the key.
Yeah, it takes tip drill to a whole nother level.
Yeah, it does. So trying to drive inside, that turned out to be a bad idea. Instead, they'll try the mid-range jumper and nothing to it. Brown with a little bit of speed here. Once again, working with Rutherford, and gets called for the jump ball. So Rutherford and Brown is a fun matchup to watch here tonight. As it looks like Brown will be taken out here in favor of Natillo. And New Faith will bring it up the key here. Natillo once again, NBA junior team for the Asian Pacific team. And pretty good ball security there as well, as IMG will get it.
Yeah, so Chris White 3 for 3 from three-point land here for IMG tonight.
So Chris White getting a couple of shots here early. Rioux trying to navigate some things. We'll see his turn at point guard here. Swings it way out. There's the big man. Tries to drive, instead passes it off underneath to Gabe Keene. When you're drawing all the attention of everybody, somebody has to be open, and he found the open man and took the free two. And tries to lay it up and in is number 13, Lance Hall. And Rioux once again dishes it underneath, and good block there. And little struggle underneath the rim. Good defense there from Marshall.
Yeah, great play there by the 2023 point guard, as IMG has no fouls on the floor right now, but an excellent pass by Inchiniato.
We've seen a couple of very clean games here tonight. Not a lot of foul trouble going on in the War Lodge Classic so far. So a lot of fun basketball to watch here over the couple of days. It's always a good event and one that Cherokee County always looks forward to. Pick set, but didn't work. Rutherford going to try and make something happen inside, dishes it underneath, and that's a losing proposition, but he turns it into a winning one. What a fantastic move inside by Sincere Simon. Holy cow, directed through traffic and the skyscrapers there and found the basket.
Yeah, very athletic move to get over the taller players.
And speaking of taller players, dishes it out. Mid-range jumper once again, that's money every single time. As Qualley continues to show his range and ability to shoot on the fly. Quick break here inside. That's not going to work. And there's a foul. So the first foul of the night for Rioux.
Yeah, Qualley, the Chi-Town native, having a big night here so far at the War Lodge. Already up to 11 points and making good decisions with the basketball as well.
So Sincere Simon to the stripe. 18-43 our score. The first one is off the back of the rim. No good. So New Faith just hasn't been able to establish any offense so far.
Yeah, shout out to our stats guy over here, Will Hoogendyk, who's usually my color analyst when it's just him and I. Apparently, Qualley hasn't missed yet tonight.
I could believe that. It seems like he hasn't. So, getting these guys training in for everything, aren't you?
Yeah, oh, yeah. Pass the torch, the younger generation.
There you go.
Kids are our future and all that.
Mid-range jumper, that's money once again. Stop me if you've heard this one before. Carson Cooper that time. Minute 30 left to go here in the first half. Going to set a pick here. Instead, breaks the opposite way. This is Champion with the ball. Pretty good moves there. Brings it out to the top of the key for Rutherford. We've seen Rutherford handle the ball the most. Spin move there doesn't work. Good defense from IMG. Look at this. Inside drive. And a foul called on Chris White. I believe they're actually going to call it on Qualley. He said number 3, but there is number 13 on the floor.
Well, there's a 30. I think they called it on 30.
You're right. My apologies to Naitio.
Japanese native.
Yeah, it's interesting to watch the mix of sophomores, juniors, and seniors on this IMG team as well. Good pass there. Long 3, and it's in. What a great shot from Rutherford.
Going to need a lot more where that came from in order to get back into this game, trailing by 24 points with under a minute to go in the half.
Rutherford with 10 now. Rioux drives to the basket inside, and he finds pay dirt. Responds perfectly back. 45 seconds left. New Faith going to try and stretch it out once again. Another three-point attempt, and that one's off the mark to the right. IMG with another fast break. 2-on-1. Dishes it underneath. Perfect, and just off the rim, and there's going to be a foul against New Faith there. As it was Sincere Simon who was coming in to make the block, and the fast break will send Gabe Keene to the line.
Yeah, one of the things I'm noticing so far is the defensive ability of Inchiniato. He has done a fantastic job and has been an absolute menace in the defensive backcourt for this IMG team.
You're absolutely right. He's a junior at 5'11". Not the biggest guy out there, obviously, but has done a fantastic job here tonight. And the other one is up as good. He's also done a good job distributing the ball when B.J. Brown has needed a rest. And instead, this is Rutherford. 30 seconds left to go here in the first half. Will Cooper alongside Chase Shafer here on Chiefs TV on YouTube. Thank you all for joining us here on Friday night. Nice move. Inside, cutting back. What an amazing job there from Rutherford, cutting through traffic.
Yeah, Qualley almost got a piece of that one, but a very beautiful teardrop shot.
And now Initio returning the favor. Wide open three in the corner. That one's just off the mark. Back inside. Great block there by number 5. Coming back up, Shafer Mizuni. My goodness.
Great block by Mizuni, and I think that's the first shot that Quali hasn't made this evening because it was blocked.
So with 2 seconds left, that one is up and off the rim, and no chance for a toss-up there. So we'll go into halftime. Our score 23-48. IMG Academy up over New Faith Christian Academy.
So Quali's missed 2 shots in the first half. One of them was blocked, and the other one was right there as he was trying to beat the buzzer. But IMG, as advertised, Will.
I mean, you can't say anything else about them, what we saw here tonight. And you got to give New Faith a lot of credit. Obviously coming in as a pretty heavy underdog, but they have a lot of talent on this team, especially Rutherford, as we mentioned, 31 points per game. And you saw there a couple of times when he just made some moves that were just spectacular. So there's a lot of things to look forward to here in the second half, so make sure you stay tuned for that.
Yeah, absolutely. You can join us right here again after a short break. Your score at the end of the first half, 48-23. IMG is on top of New Faith Christian Academy. Will, you want to go ahead and take us out?
Yes, so make sure you come back and join us here. We'll keep the stream up for you, and we will be back in just a few short minutes. Once again, our score, IMG Academy 48 and New Faith Christian Academy 23. Welcome back to the court here as the teams have made their way on. It was a little bit of a delay there as New Faith Christian Academy took every second they had, and even some now, as they are just now making their way onto the floor. So IMG Academy came out and took their couple of practice shots, and they are pretty much just standing and waiting now. And
still players coming out of the locker room.
Yeah, so now we will have some action here as we welcome everybody back in. I am Will Cooper, joined alongside Chase Shafer. Thank you for joining us on Chiefs TV. Our score at the half, 48-23, as we get set for the second half of action. Almost dunk in there inside, but instead deflected away, but it'll draw the foul. Once again, Shafer there with the block.
They want it so bad, Will.
They do.
They want it so bad. Somebody wants to rock this place so bad. As did we lose a good contingent of fans here?
I think we lost about 50% of our fan base here. So we assume that means everybody else, they've gone home and tuned into us. So there's a first free throw made.
It's a late night. We were just talking about during the break, maybe hitting up the Waffle House after this game. Maybe we'll miss the evening rush.
Well, it only seems fair. As this is another shot, and it's up and in. So New Faith will take over. They're now shooting on the left-hand basket. As once again, this is Orion champion taking it at the point. Sharkeem Joseph now, first time we've called his name tonight. And inside by Rutherford, hands it off on the near side, and a beautiful up and in shot by Sincere Simon. My goodness, as it draws an and one.
Super athletic play. Let's see if he can convert the and one here.
So New Faith not even going to mess with trying to rebound it, as you have Anquan Bolden Jr. and Carson Cooper down low. And the three-point play is good. Now IMG will set up shop here with B.J. Brown, once again, the point guard. Handling most of the duties, drives to the basket and blocked away. And Anquan Bolden Jr. puts it back up and in. So anything New Faith does, it seems like IMG has a one-up for them. As Rutherford has had a lot of one-up moments. A long three here, hammers it away.
Yeah, a great job on the other end of the floor by New Faith to be defensive and hawk the boards and not let any cheap baskets go in.
So quick put up there, and that one is up and in by Gerard O'Keefe. Once again, the mid-range jumper has been money tonight for IMG.
O'Keefe with some offers to Delmont, Lipscomb. We also talked about how good he was academically.
Another long-range jumper that's good. Two back-to-back threes for the young man. DeChun Rutherford won't go silently into that night. And a quick pass up over the top. That's Cooper inside the paint. And 6'11" will get the job done every day of the week. As IMG answers.
Will, are you old enough to get the Bob Dylan song lyric references there, going quietly into the good night?
I am 21 going on 50, my friend. That shot is no good. Down to Anquan Bolden Jr. goes up and no! Hard foul there. Second foul of the night for Shafer, I should say, in the half. And they will not let it happen.
Yeah, very physical down in the paint. A lot of big guys moving around, and when the smaller guys try to get in there and mix it up and get an easy basket, things can get messy pretty quick.
For sure.
And you know, we say that
with the utmost respect.
With the utmost respect, considering when we say the smaller guy on the court, we're talking about Anquan Bolden Jr., who's still 6'5".
It's just perspective. Everything is perspective. So the first free throw is up and in. Anquan Bolden's been to the stripe a couple of times tonight. Once again, Anquan Bolden Jr., the son of wide receiver in the NFL, Anquan Bolden. Hall of Fame potential player for sure. Tons of great years in Arizona with the glory days of Larry Fitzgerald along with him. Kurt Warner era there, Super Bowl. And this is Orion champion out at the top. Seeing Orion get involved a little bit more. To Chun, and now to Sharkeem once again. First time we've seen him tonight. This here in the second half.
This IMG defense is smothering out here past half court.
And a little floater, almost good, and tipped, and New Faith will get the rebound. So they'll try it again. Orion, quick break, floats it out, wide open three, and that one is up and in. DeChun Rutherford, 3 for 3 in the second half.
Defensive miscue there from the team from Bradenton. He was wide open down there in the corner. Nobody even saw him till the shot went off.
What a pass and what a jam! IMG with the razzle-dazzle. Here it is once again. Rutherford's going to try and answer. Gives it back up to the top of the key. It's a long two that time. As that is Sincere Simon showing a little bit of range. Anquan Bolden Jr. going to try and drive. Good defense there, and it draws the foul once again. That was Marshall there, Corey Marshall on the guilty party on the foul, and Anquan Bolden Jr. will go to the line for the 4th time tonight.
Yep, if every time you go in to attack the rim, you get fouled, might as well just keep attacking the rim and get 100 points via the free throw line.
Yeah. So Rutherford, as we mentioned, averages 30.8 points per game, has 21. And 9 of that has come here in the first 2 minutes and 42 seconds of the 3rd quarter.
Not to keep harping on fashion here at a high school basketball game, but I really like what Anquan Bolden Jr.'s got going on with the left leg, where he's got the sock all the way up to the knee, and the right leg where he's got it down to the ankle.
Just want you to know who's running by you.
Maybe a little superstition going on there.
Right. So substitution there. Anquan Bolden Jr. will come off, and on will come Michael Astornio. So first time we've seen him tonight, the senior. Dished back out to Sharkeen. Drives to the basket, almost a beautiful floater, but instead it is off of IMG, so New Faith will retain possession.
Yeah, you mentioned Astornio. He's got offers as well from Wesleyan and Vassar College.
Wide open three, and it's in again. To Chun Rutherford, the 4th three. Fast break inside to Cooper. Good defense, but it's still in. Just enough height to get it in.
The beautiful roll off the front of the iron as well to make it go forward and fall right in the twine.
Rutherford has 24, driving to the basket. Mid-range, bang, it's in. Now they're going to try and set it up with Nishio. Nishio guarded well, and IMG will retain possession. And in comes, once again, Olivier.
Yeah, almost a big mistake there by the junior point guard as he picked up his dribble while a double team was closing down on him.
So this is a wide open 3 look off IMG off the inbound. Olivier gets the rebound, but it's knocked away. Great play by Rutherford. Quick break here. Orion up to the basket, and it's in. Great job in transition with the steal.
Not sure how he made that shot.
Seen a lot of things I don't believe tonight. And once again, another steal for New Faith. New Faith not going away. Still down by 20, but a lot of time. And they're really having some success on the offensive side of the ball now. And this is a long-range 3 from Rutherford. And it's in, even after the slip. 27 points on the night.
Momentum shift here for New Faith Christian.
IMG reeling a little bit. Let's see if they can respond. That's BJ. Dishes it back out, almost a steal. Wide open 3 this time. And it's just off the mark for IMG. Good rebound inside by BJ Brown. Takes it back out to the side. Dre Fox. Back to Brown.
Yeah, Quali was red hot in the first half. Cooled off a little bit here. Let's see if he hits this.
Wide open. And it's just off the mark. Couldn't miss in the first, can't make in the second. Speaking of a guy that can't miss is Rutherford. He dishes it out. Gets it back. Another 3. Oh, just off the front of the rim. He is 5 of 6 from three-point land here in the 3rd quarter. Wide open 3. Just off the rim. Seeing the game break down a little bit. A lot more speed here. New Faith will try and establish some offense.
Yeah, you had mentioned Rutherford averages 30 points a game. He's up to 28 already, and we've still got plenty of basketball left to go.
Almost there with the 30 points he normally averages, but he'll pick up the foul and have an opportunity to go to the stripe and try and pick up those 2. It looks like number 24, Sincere Simon's laboring a little bit as they're going to check him out of the game and replace him with Corey Hardy. So he's having a real hard time. Not sure if he's tired or he kind of seems to be favoring that hip.
Yeah, the Titans have, apart from the injury at the moment, the Titans have really come out of the halftime break with their hair on fire. We mentioned at the beginning of the second half broadcast that they had taken all the time they needed back in the locker room. Whatever pep talk that was, definitely stirred the troops up, and here they are shooting the lights out of the building in the second half.
You're right about that. So the first free throw made there for Rutherford, and this will be for his 30th point, and it is good. So right at the average now, as IMG will look to set things up. Down by 16 is New Faith. Good defense there. And IMG, and there's a foul called, and a hard finish to the play there. And the foul is called on Rutherford. So Rutherford's got to be careful, got 3 fouls now. And he's a guy with 30 points for a team that scored 48. You cannot afford to have him out. So he's going to have to be careful playing defense that tight. Gerard O'Keefe will inbound the ball for IMG. Gabe Keene replaced Rioux earlier. And now it's back to Brown.
See if IMG continues to keep it simple on defense. Big steal.
Rutherford steal, lays it up and in. 32 on the night. And the nifty maneuver brings them within 14.
Caught Brown taking a nap there. Big steal by Rutherford.
Now you feel the energy heating back up here inside. IMG driving to the basket. It's stolen from behind. Look out. Quick break. Rutherford lays it up, and it's about a foot short of the rim. And IMG's going to have a quick break the other way now. And that pass is way too long and stolen back the other way. New Faith working back.
14 points. Deficit's getting smaller and smaller.
Rutherford gets the pick. Looks at the three. Decided not to take it. Dished it back out to Marshall. We're looking at O'Keefe trying to guard Rutherford. Mishandles the ball just a little bit. Now he's got a couple IMG guys around him. Going to have to make a decision here at some point. So they'll rotate and try and figure out where they can find a weakness in this IMG defense. Double him inside. That's back to Orion. Orion's trying to drive it to the basket. That's a huge block inside from Cooper. IMG now. BJ Brown inside. Lays it up and in to end the run for IMG. And timeout now.
Yeah, Coach Schiller needs to rally the troops here. They just had a huge, huge halftime lead that has disappeared, quote unquote, down to 16 points as the Titans are really picking up some momentum and picking up some steam here as they've done whatever they've wanted to in this third quarter.
We really mean Rutherford as he's up to 32 now. The next leading scorer on the team is Sincere Simon with 11. So your offensive production has come from one guy, and as we mentioned, has 3 fouls now. So with 1:30 left in the third, he's got to be really careful not to get in too much foul trouble. So one thing we'll also keep an eye on for New Faith is that injury that we were talking about. Sincere Simon was laboring a little bit, and he will return to the bench as it looks like he's got a little hitch in his giddy up, and he will take a sit and try and sort that out.
A little math competition going on here between our stats guys, Max Swain and Will Hoogendyk. As it turns out, Rutherford has accounted for 64% of the offensive output by New Faith Christian Academy.
Gotta love it.
Hey,
Sequoyah athletes.
Yeah, I was going to say, it shows that the kids are getting a good education here at Sequoyah High School.
There you go. Cherokee County math coming through once again. New Faith will carry it outside. That's Orion. And he dishes it back to Sharkeem. And this is the man of the hour, Rutherford. As there's a little trash talk going on now. And kicked inside, and that's going to be the call. So, and they're actually going to call it. Didn't see who they called it on. I believe it was on BJ Brown. So New Faith will retain possession. As Rutherford will inbound it. Somebody's got to get open, and he just airmails it way outside to Corey Hardy. 1:15 left here to go in the third. I'm Will Cooper, joined alongside Chase Shafer here on Chiefs TV. Another long three from Rutherford, and it's off the front of the rim. Just maybe a little bit more consistency coming into play now.
Yeah, Rutherford, the law of averages is catching up with him for sure.
So playing a little bit of zone here. Come back inside, that's Cooper. He's going to dish it back out to another man, and that was a great defensive play at the bottom by Sharkeem Joseph as Gabe Keene tried to go back up and with the quick layup, but no.
Will, here in the second half, the Titans have done a fantastic job of keeping IMG's big men at bay.
And that's a quick put up there, so Gabe Keene does come through eventually with the points, but had to inbound it at first at least. So
they've been trying to feed Cooper down low, and it's just not there. IMG is having a hard time getting the ball inside to Cooper thanks to this Titans defense.
So Rutherford directing traffic. Some New Faith faithful have made their way in. As Sharkeem works inside. What a play! Gets it up and in. Not sure how he got it through the cascade of hands coming at the ball, but he did.
Shot clock's dead.
So 15 seconds left. Quick swing back into Cooper. Good defense inside, and that'll draw the foul and the one.
You know, we just talked about it, Will, saying that Cooper was having a hard time getting going underneath the basket, and as soon as the words leave my mouth, there he is under the basket, and now with a possibility to make it a three-point play.
And for Corey Marshall, there's not a lot you can tell him to do, as Corey Marshall will be replaced by Sincere Simon, so that's good to see him making his way back out onto the court. As we mentioned, he did come off with a little bit of a, not sure if it was a hip injury or just something wrong, but nonetheless, he's back on the court, so that is good. IMG gets the rebound off of the missed free throw. Back to Cooper. Now back to the top of the key with Brown. Now they're going to try and drive, and oh, almost a dunk. Just a bit short for Keene. New Faith sets up a huge three and just misses it off to the right-hand side. So our score 52-72 at the end of three. And third quarter was a little bit more exciting than the first two.
Yeah, at the beginning of the third quarter, the Titans did an excellent job basically gashing that giant lead. They went into halftime surrendering to IMG, but they're still down 20, Will.
Yeah.
Like, it seems like you throw your best shot at them, you make a bunch of three-point shots, and you're still down 20 going into the fourth quarter. It seems like New Faith Christian is throwing the kitchen sink at this IMG team, and IMG is just too talented.
Well, you got to feel like it's kind of like Ohio State and Michigan playing this year.
I now rescind my Waffle House invitation for the remainder of the game.
Well, that'll be all right. I had to do it. I had to do it. Chase, you may not know this, the Ohio native. So for everyone wondering, had to make that joke for you. So who are you rooting for in Georgia and Michigan?
Oh, Georgia, absolutely.
So there you go. So a little hometown ball for you.
Let's go ahead and put the cap on that once in a decade success that Michigan has.
Swiftly moving on.
So we have a player on Sequoyah, Kyle Keener, actually a Michigan fan, walking around earlier today with his Michigan shirt on. So I don't want to cause too much friction here with the Sequoyah faithful.
There you go. All walks of life coming here and meeting at Sequoyah High School.
But absolutely forget Michigan, go Bulldogs.
There you go. So everyone here will echo that statement as IMG gets it on a quick break and up and in. Swift moves there from O'Keefe.
Yeah, O'Keefe with the excellent transition between the hands.
Starting to play some backyard ball now. B.J. Brown with the spin move. Spin cycle doesn't go. Sharkeem with the block. Bodies flying. Sharkeem going to try and take it up now. Anquan Bolden Jr. in the lane. Tries to dish it back out to Sincere Simon, but instead goes errantly out of bounds as the lead is 22.
I'm just kidding. We need to go to Waffle House after the game. I'm incredibly hungry. Basketball makes me hungry. We've really worked up an appetite calling 4 games tonight.
You're right about that. Tomorrow is going to even have more excitement as there's a total of 6 games. So a lot to look forward to here at the War Lodge. As Rutherford with a nifty move but doesn't go. Anquan Bolden Jr. gets doubled but gets it out. Moving up the lane here is IMG. Nishio dishes it back out to Anquan. He's going to drive the lane and just didn't get in for the dunk. Once again, Sincere Simon, I think, has kept the dunk from hitting about 3 times tonight. But Anquan Bolden Jr. has found success getting to the stripe. As we mentioned, he has 11 points on the night, and 8 of those have come from the stripe.
Yeah, drive to the basket and good things happen. It's kind of like hockey. Just get the puck on net and good things will happen, whether it's a goal or a penalty. Same thing in basketball. Just get to the rim. And if you get fouled, you get fouled. If you don't get fouled, put it in.
So there it is, and he puts it in the net. And get a substitute here. Gerard O'Keefe will check in. Jamie Qualley, once again, who was on fire in the first half from three-point land and really anywhere. Mid-range jumper, was able to get a few layups as well. Gone quiet in the third quarter, but makes a reappearance here. We'll see what he can do. As Rutherford has also gone quiet a little bit after going 5 for 5, and now we have a stoppage in play.
Speaking of having gone quiet, Qualley not having a good second half. He came out in the first half with his hair on fire and couldn't miss from three-point range, and we really haven't heard too much from him since. Let's see if he gets it going here in the fourth quarter.
Is that a ginger joke?
Was it?
I don't know. He's got red hair. And wow, errant pass just easily intercepted, and B.J. Brown, and going to be called with the charge there. So New Faith will take over from there.
Interesting call there. Maybe a little bit of a sell by Rutherford, but it gets the desired result nonetheless. Let's see if they can start chipping away at this 24-point deficit.
Number 4, I do not have a name for on the roster, so my apologies to number 4, as this is a quick turnover. IMG working back the other way. B.J. Brown up, and there is the layup. So working quickly now. This is Orion going back the other side. Orion Champion, a great name. Step back, bang! Couldn't have done it any better.
Yeah, real championship level shot there, right there.
Wow, we're really getting in the weeds now. Anquan Bolden Jr. outside. Dishes it out to Nishio. Nishio for 3. No, just off the side. This is Rutherford coming up. He's going to go in the lane with Cooper. Almost found pay dirt with the huge size disadvantage, but instead it's dished back out to Brown. Anquan Bolden with the layup, and it's going to go. What an amazing alley-oop opportunity there as he finds it off the pass and puts it up and has the opportunity for the three-point play.
Go to the rim and good things happen. Anquan Bolden Jr. has been the embodiment of that the entire game, and that's why his team's up 25 right now.
So in again comes Olivier. He will check back in to play some defense here. Let's see if Anquan can convert the three-point play. He's up to 15 points. And let's make it 16 on the three-point play. So New Faith, going to see if they can muster some offense here. Directing traffic now is Champion. We've seen Champion kind of take over for Rutherford at the point guard position.
Such a hard-fought game that it's hard to believe that New Faith Christian's down by 26 points right now.
It really is. You have to give a lot of credit to Natillo. Bang on the outside. But Natillo playing some excellent defense for IMG on the opposite end. As we're seeing him and Anquan Bolden Jr. trade spots. Inside, Olivier. And just off. Tips it back to himself. And pretty much climbing all over him, but no foul called as New Faith somehow finds a way to get the rebound.
Yeah, he's typically not going to get that call.
Typically not, and there's a quick drive and in for Rutherford. So he is up to 34 points on the night.
And he drove in on Rioux.
Got to give him a lot of credit for that. Setting up inside, Anquan Bolden Jr. trying to find a way inside, but instead gives it out to Qualley. And it's just off the mark. And it is going to be out, and IMG will retain possession here. So let's see. On the inbound, you have to feel like it's probably going to number 55 here. And actually overthrew his man. Who thought that was possible? Inside for Rutherford. And falls hard to the ground, but the shot does not go. Bolden fighting for it with Hardy.
Yeah, one of the things that I think we should really look forward to, especially in regards to Rioux, is when he gets a little older, because he's only a sophomore.
Right.
When he gets a little older as a junior and senior and really starts developing that game and that physicality, he is going to be an absolute force to reckon with. Still a little bit of development needed on that end, though.
Quick three, and it's converted and in by Sincere Simon, and I'm with you. He kind of plays a little timid right now. Posted up inside. B.J. Brown fakes it, pulls it back out. Rutherford on Brown. A great matchup between two really good athletes. Brown drives inside, dishes it up to Rioux, and it's off the rim. Coming back out the other way. It's Orion. Going to try and find an open hole. Down by 18 here. Mid-range jumper is up and in. The mid-range jumper has been money for both teams tonight.
Yeah, beautiful floater from the free throw line.
And a delay of game call. So, on number 2 there. 24. Thank you, Chase.
Yep, no problem.
Hand signals. Pushes it back outside. Completely across the wing, going to try and run this New Faith team a little bit. Open three, it's in.
Scattered, smothered, and double covered. Boy, he shot that one from the Waffle House parking lot.
Up, and that one's from Town Lake. So Rutherford heating back up a little bit.
We have seen some deep three-point shots as Rutherford creeping up on the 40-point mark in this game.
Good defense here. Now that's going to be a quick break for IMG to the rim. No, blocked by Sincere Simon.
Again, Sincere Simon with another big block. He's probably had 6 this game.
Just watched some John Collins highlights and said, not me. And out of bounds there. As some New Faith Christian Academy fans are right there on the sideline and working the official. But nonetheless, there, please go unheard. Quick pass out here. Once again, that's Qualley. He's had an amazing night, especially in the first half. Quick back pass out to him. Gonna dish it underneath to Cooper. Now it's back outside to Brown. Cooper inside, money all day, and it still is.
Yeah, 86-68, 3:30 left to go in the fourth as we don't have a score bug or a time bug working on our broadcast tonight.
Quick shot there, and it's no good. Cooper with the rebound. B.J. Brown and Rutherford. It's been the matchup all night. Brown with some nifty moves. Rutherford sticking right with him, though. Dishes it back out. Wide open three for Qualley. No! Just off the back of the rim. Put back up and in. Gabe Keene with the reception there.
IMG has 88 points, and we still have 3 minutes to go in the game. Could we hit the century mark here tonight?
We also feel like IMG hasn't played their best game tonight. So New Faith is an extremely talented team. Champion with a shot. No.
All teams should be so fortunate to not have their fastball and still score 88 points.
Qualley underneath. Cooper. And it's stolen by New Faith. Nice little move there by Rutherford inside to Champion, and it's blocked by Cooper on the inside. Rutherford finds a way to get it back, though. Going to work inside. Look at him maneuvering around traffic there. Had tons of open opportunities. Dishes it back out, almost stolen. Working back in. Bang! Sincere Simon has denied them enough and will not be denied himself.
Bears mentioning Qualley still has not scored a point in the second half.
There you go.
So a tale of two halves for Qualley.
And he gladly dishes this one back out underneath the Cooper. Now it's back out to Brown. 18 points, the difference here. Back out to Cooper, and he mishandles the pass. It was a pretty slick move by Brown to get it back to him, but not enough. We'll see Anquan Bolden Jr. check back into the game. We'll also see Shayer Mazzuni check back into the game as well. 2 minutes left here to go, 18-point difference. IMG Academy 88, and of course, New Faith at 70. Still not a very foul-heavy game. Both these teams have played pretty clean. Rutherford at 39 points now on the night.
That's crazy.
And Carson Cooper leading on the floor with 20 right now. And Rutherford once again working on Brown. Back underneath. Given once again to Rutherford. A long three. It's in! So 42 points on the night for Rutherford.
The fadeaway three-point shot for Rutherford. It's a
Qualley,
thing of beauty.
Open look off the hands of Cooper. Now the New Faith guys run into each other, and it's a scramble for the ball. IMG's going to get it back. Qualley going to settle things down. A minute 30 left to go. 15-point difference. B.J. Brown directing traffic, asking for a little bit of help. Gets it from Cooper. Cooper sets back up. Works back out to Anquan Bolden. Bang! Finally gets it home.
He has been trying to do that all night. Finally gets some clear floor space to operate in. Drives to the basket, and the dunk with authority. And now he's going to try and make it a three-point play, Will.
Anquan Bolden cleared for takeoff. Have the opportunity to make it a three-point play. Checking back in here is Olivier. And alongside Qualley, we will also see Chris White. We haven't seen him much tonight, but he's getting some playing time.
Will, we have been treated to 163 exciting offensive points between these two teams tonight.
And off, so no three-point play there for Bolden, but at least we got to see some flying tonight. His dad, the Cardinal, doing his best bird intimidation. Bam, up and in. Great job by Orion to find the basket with some traffic there. And now a timeout for IMG.
90-75. This game has, pretty much lived up to as advertised.
Yeah, and I think, with New Faith being down by 15 points, I think that was probably the expectation. 15 to 20 would be what IMG was favored. As we mentioned, IMG nationally ranked. This version of IMG is, anybody that's joining us, there are multiple IMG teams out there. This is IMG Blue, which is not their league
national team. Yeah, it's
so
not
just
the national
keep that
team.
in mind. So that's a scary thought, of course, but beating New Faith, who is a extremely well put together basketball team, as we've seen here tonight. And you have to really give a shout out to Rutherford. I mean, 42 points on the night. He's been unstoppable from three-point land here in the second half. I think he's only missed 3 threes on the night. So an absolute fantastic job from him. You don't score 42 points against IMG Academy that often. As we'll send you back down to the floor, as Gerard O'Keefe is set to inbound this one back for IMG.
Yeah, you mentioned Rutherford. That's definitely going on the highlight reel for him to show college coaches.
No doubt. Qualley trying to mix it up here. Finds a little bit inside. Bang! There's the home run everybody's been waiting on. Olivier with the hammer. And now we've got a foul. As the guilty party is Chris White. Stechun Rutherford got the best of him there to begin.
So Rioux giving the folks at home what they all came for.
And the fans that have stayed were definitely excited to see that one. Mid-range jumper is up and off the front of the rim. fight underneath. And now IMG is going to have a little bit of a disadvantage here. Mid-range jumper up and in. New Faith try and set something up. Sincere Simon dishes it out. 20 seconds left to go. Deshaun Rutherford, magic all night. Works into a triple team. IMG is going to dish it back out. This is White working inside and just throws it off the backboard. And with New Faith having 7 seconds left, we'll see if they're content to run the clock or if they want to try and score once again.
No, Rutherford's going to airmail this one from probably half court.
So he does come up past half court, but he does take a long three, and it's off the front of the rim, and that will expire time. So 75-94, the final score in a high school basketball game, and it may have worked itself way late into the night, but my oh my, was it worth the price of admission?
Yeah, certainly, and not even from the end of the floor that we thought it was going to come from. Rutherford scored 42 points. I mean, you score 42 points against any IMG level team, and that's something to write home with. That's a resume builder.
Oh, for sure, and I think that we will see the tape cut from this game for sure and put on there. So,
and I bet a lot of high-level college coaches will see the tape cut from this one as well.
Yes, that's the hope anyway for that young man. As we mentioned, of course, we did get to see Anquan Bolden Jr., Olivia Rioux. We got to see a lot of names that came into this that people were excited to see, and we're excited to have brought it to you.
Yeah, and you'll see them again tomorrow night as well. IMG Academy is going to be the nightcap. The finale, the grand finale, if you will, as they take on Middle Georgia Prep for the War Lodge class, for the War Lodge Invitational. A lot of games on tap tomorrow, both boys and girls. A little bit more of a local flair in the first 6 games of the night, and then finally you'll see IMG Academy take on Middle Georgia Prep, and you can catch that all here live on ChiefsTV.org starting at 10 a.m. tomorrow.
All right, well, you heard it here first, folks. Make sure you tune back in tomorrow night and tomorrow all day for a whole bunch of basketball action here at the War Lodge in the War Lodge Classic. I've been Will Cooper, joined alongside Chase Shafer. Chase, thank you for having us. It's been an absolute honor to work with you guys once again. And guys, everyone have a great night. Take care of yourselves, and we will see you all tomorrow.